Hey guys, welcome to the next installment of Ask Davlin. Today's questions come from Kurt Cobain Addict. Lovely person, you should follow her. The first question she asks is, what strategy do you find the most helpful with your work? Whenever I write, they tend to fall into one of two categories. The first is a planned session where I set a specific time to sit down and write. And the other one is where I have a sudden flash of inspiration and need to get it out at that moment. And I've dealt with both long enough to come up with strategies for each. If I know I'm going to set aside some time to write, what I really like to do is procure some cannabis and smoke the hell out of it. Go into a quiet place by myself, throw on my MP3 player, and just listen to music. Music is often one of my biggest inspirations, which is why whenever you see a piece of mine that has a song embedded into it, that's the song I was listening to when I wrote it and plays a very important part in the story I'm trying to tell. The last time I've done this was back in September when I wrote Anathema, a multimedia novella. I had an anniversary coming up that wasn't easy for me. I was dating someone, and it's a long story, which essentially became I Have No Reason to Dream. And it was the anniversary of when she broke up with me, and I had to move from Tennessee back to Texas. And I wanted to do something to kind of commemorate it, and I needed closure from the situation. So I got really fucking stoned, and I was listening to my MP3 player, and The Dolphins Cry by Live came on, and it just hit me in a big fucking way. And as I was listening to it, I just got all of these flashes of the entire relationship, and I decided I wanted to tell a very truncated version to kind of put a finale on the whole ordeal. And so for 4 days, I just sat down and wrote it all out. But I had found that I'd already written a lot of the stories, so I would just write a line, and then I would include a link to that story, because I like to keep people engaged. Whenever it comes to my work, the more effort and time you put into it, the more you get. Like, each thing that you see is connected, and if you're willing to take the time and effort and put the pieces of the puzzle together, it'll blow your fucking mind. It is so huge in scope. Whenever I have a sudden flash of inspiration, I always keep a messenger bag with me that has all of my writing tools, and I'll show you a few of them now. Every writer has to have pens, so I usually have 3 of them. Here's 2. I got a black and a red, my 2 favorite colors. And I also have a black pen that the ink is always wet whenever I write, so if I want to smear the ink, that's the pen I use. I'm not an artist by any stretch of the imagination as far as drawing and painting. I think my drawings tend to be very childlike in nature, which I think only adds to their charm. So I always have a pencil and map colors. And then you have to have something to write on, so I always keep one of these in my back pocket, so if I ever have an idea, I can jot it down and keep it. And then I have a bigger notebook to where I can fully flesh the ideas out and then take pictures and share them with you. And this tends to happen more often than a planned session. Like last Friday, I was cleaning out the house and I found this small square of canvas, and I was looking at it, and in my mind, like, I could see a picture start to form on the canvas, and I knew if I didn't get started right then, I was going to lose it. So from the initial moment of conception for the idea to the finished product took about 5 minutes, all said and done, and that's how I got my avatar. Just pencil, matte color, pen, and canvas. And then yesterday I had another one where I was going through the flash drive for I Have No Reason to Dream, which I also keep my other two books with me. Stay of Execution and I Have No Reason to Dream. I was going through the flash drive and I came across a line that I'd written and forgotten about. And it said I always gravitated towards quick fixes and band-aid solutions. And that just kind of triggered me. So I just took a razor, cut up the page, threw some band-aids on there, as well as some dirt and some smudges of red ink. And that's how I came up with my piece, Self-Medication. So yeah, those are my strategies. And your second question was, what element do you find your writing leans more towards? I think Jesse Lacey of Brand New said it best when he said that the two greatest emotions that humans can feel are love and loss, and those tend to be the biggest themes of my writing. I've had a lot of fucked up relationships. I've always said that women have this innate ability to bring out the best and worst in me, and I think my writing kind of reflects that. So I write a lot about love and the loss of that love. I also once said that you can write 100 different pieces that run the emotional gap, or the emotional spectrum of, I love this person, she's amazing, I just want to be with her every second, to, oh my God, get her away from me, I fucking hate being around her, just let it stop. You can write 100 things covering all of that, and it can be about one person. So one relationship can give me a whole wealth of new material, much to my ex's chagrin. I also tend to lean towards horror because I've had a lot of experiences with the supernatural and paranormal and things of that nature. So I just started writing about them a couple of years ago because anytime I brought them up to people, they just assumed I was crazy, which I hate that word. We just use it as a label for things we don't understand. And whenever I started writing I Have No Reason to Dream, I decided I was tired of holding that part back and I needed to let it out. So you can usually find those pieces on my blog late at night, or like midnight or 1 in the morning is whenever I'll post my horror pieces. Sometimes I'll write about mental illness, family, but mostly it leans towards more love and breakups because they tend to bring out the most in me. If you have any other questions, please ask. I love doing these. Till next time.